Hey YouTube, this is Raj, and today I'm going to be talking about helmets and what enchantments they have in Minecraft. Basically, how you can enchant your helmet, and basically what things to avoid and what is worth considering. So if you're interested in the individual enchantments for helmets, there are quite a few. I've been doing a lot of videos about those, so you can check those out. But this is going to be a summary that looks at the overall picture of helmets. So let's go into it. So let's talk about helmets in Minecraft. So usually when I do these videos, I specifically just talk about diamond tools and consider that when I consider the enchantment. But this time I'm going to talk about turtle shells because there are some specific enchantment things with helmets that are more useful with turtle shells than actually with helmets. So let's talk about this and compare some turtle shells to diamond helmets first. So I should also explain that the way you get a turtle helmet is from scoot. It's a fun word to say, but basically how you get scoot is from when baby turtles turn into adults. They produce scoot. So you can't kill turtles to get scoot. The only way you can get it is from that specific thing where babies become adults. And basically, if you need enough to produce the helmet, you might need a farm or some way where you get a bunch of scoots from baby turtles. But it is an interesting helmet to have, at least think about compared to diamond helmets. So the differences between the two, if you look at defense points, is 2 to 3. That's not a huge amount if you think about it. I mean, this is about the same as iron, gold, a lot of the things. And if you look at the durability, it's 364 for diamond helmets, so quite a bit, and 276 for turtle shells. So there is definitely a huge difference in durability, but it's not so undurable for turtle shells that it's completely useless. But this is the thing that makes turtle shells worth mentioning. So there's an interesting and unique ability with turtle shells that it gives you water breathing. So what this means is you get an extra 10 seconds of breathing underwater. This might not sound significant, but with other enchantments in Minecraft, you basically get a bigger increase in the amount you can breathe underwater. So any increase in breathing underwater with helmets is pretty valuable. So that is the trade-off of these two. Is you get less defense points, less durability, but you get 10 extra seconds of breathing underwater, and obviously more defense points, more durability, but no breathing underwater. So let's start talking about enchantments. There's a lot of enchantments for helmets, so let's get into it. Respiration 3. So Respiration 3 is basically it increases the time that you can breathe underwater. As I've said, it's pretty important. So Respiration 3 increases the amount by 15 seconds. So at Respiration 3, you get 45 seconds of extra breathing. Now, if you consider that with water breathing and with the base amount that you get for breathing in general underwater, that means you get 70 seconds underwater of breathing, which is pretty good. So that's definitely worth considering. Now, Aqua Affinity is an interesting enchantment. I feel like I'm saying everything is an interesting enchantment. But what it does is it basically, there's a penalty for when you mine things underwater. So you get a slower speed for mining things underwater, but with Aqua Affinity on your helmet, that is negated completely, so you mine at normal speed underwater. So it's definitely worth considering if you do a lot of underwater stuff. And then this is the common thing with armor. Basically, you have a choice of which protection you want. These are incompatible with each other, so you have to pick one. So if you're not familiar with the protection armor, there's protection, which is basically a general thing. It reduces the damage you do. So the maximum is 16%. You could reduce the amount of damage you take. Fire is interesting. So fire protection, basically what it does is it reduces the amount you take from fire damage, and it also reduces the amount of time you might be on fire. Projectile protection basically involves things like arrows or charged projectiles, so things from ghasts and blazes and also skeletons. And then blast protection basically protects you from creepers and TNT. So because these ones are specific, these are 32%, it reduces it in 32%, and this is more of a chance percentage of how long you're on fire for. And protection is general 16%. So this one's definitely worth just considering because it's more general, so you might be more effective because you're overall taking less damage. So the next one is Thorns. So if you're not familiar with Thorns, Thorns is a very interesting enchantment to have on your armor. Basically, if you take melee damage from a zombie, it can reciprocate that damage to the zombie. So the zombie will actually get damage when it attacks you. Now this is a percentage chance, so it's possible it'll attack you and nothing happens. But it's also possible it attacks you and then you hit it. The other thing to consider is it's possible to put it on your helmet, your chest plate, your leggings, and your boots. And when the zombie attacks you, each piece of armor can basically reciprocate and attack that zombie and do damage to it. So it can be a very effective enchantment, especially if you have it on all of your armor, because then it'll be really effective in basically producing melee damage when you're getting attacked. And the next one is the most obvious and useful enchantment on everything in Minecraft. So basically every item has durability. Helmets have durability, I went through that. And basically as you use it or get attacked, it uses up durability. So basically when you get attacked, it uses up less durability. So basically your armor will last longer. The other thing to consider is item durability and armor durability are very different. So armor durability is not as useful as item durability. The percentages are very small and minute. I believe it's 30%. Like 70% that it'll still decrease the durability, as we're with an item, it'll decrease the durability by only 25%. So there's a huge difference between putting unbreaking on armor versus items. And then Mending, one of the most useful enchantments in Minecraft. Pretty straightforward. Basically, let's say you get 1 XP. What it does is it increases the durability of your item by +2. Now with helmets it's a bit tricky, but nowadays with how furnaces work, you can create XP banks so you can restore your durability on items. And the last two things are the things you should completely avoid. Curse of Vanishing, obviously when you die that item will disappear. Curse of Binding, basically you can't remove it. And especially in the way I've been talking about things here, with turtle shells and diamond helmets, if you have multiple helmets, this kind of sucks because you won't be able to remove that helmet from the armor slot. So those are the two you should avoid. So overall, there was a lot of options with this. I would say if you don't plan on going underwater at all, or you just don't like to do that, these two options you can completely avoid. You can just get a diamond helmet and use the helmet for protection. The other option is if you really want to mine underwater, I would consider getting a turtle shell, Respiration, Aqua Affinity, and then you can use it specifically for things underwater. But basically what I'm saying is that you have options in what kind of helmet you want. So that was the helmet enchantments in Minecraft. I hope that was helpful for you guys. I also go into a lot more detail about the specific enchantments. So things like Aqua Affinity or Respiration, I do a lot more of a detailed look on those specific enchantments. I also have done a video on Scoot. If you have no idea about Scoot in Minecraft and this is your first introduction to it, you can look at that and figure out how to use it and the different ways to use it. It's kind of interesting in a weird way. But I hope that was helpful for you guys. I think, yeah, I still have a couple of these different enchantment guides to go through, but I've been doing a lot of them, and I've been going through all the enchantments, and I'm probably going to go a little more into detail about enchanting in general, because that seems to be the theme of my channel at the moment. So anyways, if you like this video, please give me a like. If you want me to keep producing content, give me a subscribe. And you can always leave a comment. I appreciate that. I always read them. I love them. But anyways, stay classy, YouTube. This is Raj.